Imagine standing on a dusty plain in ancient Greece. The year is 480 BC. You've spent the entire day in a brutal, exhausting struggle, fighting and watching your brothers fall against the elite of the Persian Empire. You managed to kill a dozen of the king's personal guardmen the world calls the Immortals. As night falls, you go to sleep hoping their numbers have finally dwindled, giving your army a chance at dawn. But when the sun rises, your heart sinks into your chest. Across the field, their ranks are perfectly full, not a single gap in their line. It's as if the men you buried yesterday have risen from the dirt, ready to finish the job with even more ferocity. This was the psychological nightmare of the Persian immortals. Today, we unlock the truth behind the ancient world's most feared military unit. Welcome to Time Unlocked. To understand the immortals, we have to look past the myths and into the brilliant mind of the great king, Xerxes. The name Immortals wasn't rooted in magic or dark rituals. It was a masterpiece of military logistics and psychological branding. Our primary source for these warriors is the Greek historian Herodotus, who explains that the unit was kept at a permanent and changing strength of exactly 10,000 men. If an immortal died, was wounded, or even became slightly ill, a replacement was waiting in the wings to step in immediately. The number 10,000 was sacred. By maintaining this constant presence, the Persians created a terrifying illusion of invincibility. It was one of history's first and most effective forms of psychological warfare. They understood a fundamental truth: if an army cannot be reduced, it cannot be defeated. But who were these men beneath the myth? Unlike the silver-masked monsters depicted in modern cinema, the historical immortals were a sight of incredible opulence and discipline. They were known as the Anaschia, the companions. To even be considered for this unit, a man had to be of pure Persian or Median descent and demonstrate elite skill from childhood. Their training began at the age of 5. For 15 years, they were taught only 3 things: how to ride a horse, how to use a bow, and how to tell the truth. In Persian culture, lying was considered a mark of cowardice, so these warriors were bound by a code of honor so rigid it made them unbreakable on the battlefield. When they marched, they didn't look like soldiers, they looked like gods. They wore vibrant, flowing tunics of yellow, purple, and blue, often embroidered with gold thread. Beneath these delicate silks, however, lay a deadly secret: a suit of iron scale armor that overlapped like the scales of a fish, protecting them from stabs and slashes while remaining flexible. Their headgear was a soft felt cap called a tiara, which could be pulled over the face to protect against the dust and wind of the desert. Their weaponry was just as specialized. They carried a spear, a powerful composite bow, and a short sword or large dagger for close quarters combat. But it was their spears that gave them their second nickname, the Apple Bearers. The base of each spear featured a metal counterweight shaped like a pomegranate or an apple. The rank and file carried silver pomegranates, while the officers, the elite of the elite, carried spears weighted with fruit made of solid gold. This wasn't just decoration. It balanced the weapon for perfect thrusting accuracy. During the legendary Battle of Thermopylae, the Immortals were the ultimate weapon. When the initial waves of the Persian army were crushed by the Spartan shield wall, Xerxes finally sent in his companions. While the Greeks held their ground in a head-on collision, it was the Immortals who executed the famous flanking maneuver, traversing a hidden mountain path under the cover of night to trap the Spartans. They moved with a silent, disciplined grace that was unmatched in the ancient world. The true power of the Immortals lay in their ability to deter war before it even began. Many nations chose to surrender to the Persian king simply because they didn't want to face an army that seemingly could die. They proved that in war, perception is often more powerful than the steel you carry. By turning a simple replacement system into a ghost story, the Persian Empire conquered the largest territory the world had ever seen, stretching from the borders of India all the way to the gates of Europe. The Immortals weren't supernatural beings. They were a testament to the power of human organization and the strength of a shared identity. They understood that if you can convince your enemy that death is only a temporary setback for your army, you have already won the war. Thank you for joining us as we looked behind the golden spears of history's unkillable army. If you believe that strategy is more powerful than myth, Subscribe to Time Unlocked, and share this video to help us keep the past alive. Do you think modern militaries use similar psychological tricks today? Let us know in the comments below.